Oh, ok. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. If you can, please let me know. If you're having audio issues, please let me know. And welcome. This has been a long time coming. I am India E. I know people are going to be coming in and as I said in the chat, come on in and get comfortable, and hopefully this day and weekend has been productive and peaceful for you. There is obviously a lot going on. And that's what this platform is here for. To figure out and work through how all of this ongoing fill in the blank is impacting us all, with a priority to women. I believe women are the essence and core of this entire planet. And without us, well, you wouldn't have a lot of, I will edit. I'm not even 1 minute in and I'm ready to blow. Uh, without women, you would not have those who want to repress women. How's that? Oh my goodness. Look, let me I'm not even started yet. So I wanted to start today, first of all, to say thank you to all of you who have engaged with this platform. Some of you might be kind of familiar and say, wait a minute, like this chick, I've heard her voice or, seen some of her stuff before, and you would be right. Feels like 100 years ago now, but in 2007 to 2019, I did a podcast. And many of you may remember it. I don't know. It was called the I Declare Show. And it was on the platform, and I don't even know if they're still in existence now, the Blog Talk Radio platform. And I had the privilege and honor to broadcast from that platform for a very long time. During the Obama administrations, the two administrations. So the civics and politics nerd that I naturally am was happily engaged in that project. So for those who might remember the I Declare Show or the India Declare Show, yes, Declare is my middle name. So that's where that came from, okay? So put the mic down for a while, got into real estate and stuff like that. And now we're back, rebranded. And you see Exquisite Woman Global. Exquisite Woman Global is the company that houses the You Are Exquisite brand. So that's how it all kind of comes together. Okay, so that's who I am. The You Are Exquisite hashtag YAE. That is very personal. So my brand is a real personal, deeply rooted thing. It's an energy. As I say on my work, I wrote a book, and pardon me, I don't have the book in front of me, but I wrote a book entitled You Are Exquisite. And from the book, it just blossomed. And that's where we are today. So You Are Exquisite is a mindset. It is a book. It is a podcast on YouTube. And it is a lifestyle. And it's very organically rooted from pain that has been worked through. And that's really what this platform is about. As women, we carry so much, some at the top of mind and some maybe in the back of our minds. We carry a lot. And I wanted to create a platform that I needed. And so that's where this comes from, okay? Working through, if you will. As we get into this, and this is a long, ongoing, perpetual, I believe, eternal work, and especially in times like these, having a source of like-minded souls to support, to hold accountable. As my dear Tanya, my accountability partner, she definitely holds me accountable, and I love it. She will not let me. She will not let me hide. So she stays on me, and I love it. So I love to be coached hard, and she is that for me. So God bless you, Tanya, wherever you may be right now. There she is. Hey, girl. Oh, wait a minute. Bear with me. This is a new platform. Wait, this is a new platform. So, like, we're learning, like as we go. Okay. So it's a new platform to me. Some of you are Zoom experts, and I would love to hire you. Because I am like on training wheels with the Zoom. So thank you, Tanya, for holding me accountable and just being just a great spirit, soul, and advocate that you are. You are exquisite. So I wanted to get into, well, first of all, okay, look. So we've got some huge political news going on. And as the old political podcaster in me, as I spoke to Tanya before we went on the air here, wow. Okay. So Joseph R. Biden will complete his term. This is huge political news. The president will complete his term, and Vice President Kamala Harris will, in fact, uh, be the nominee for the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party. Huge. I would love to hear from all of you, who should her vice presidential candidate be? And of course, now that all of this has happened, this is so wild. So um, we're going to encompass it all and figure it all out and try to categorize it. But You Are Exquisite will be covering and following the presidential candidacy of Kamala Harris. How can we not? And all that entails. Wow. Is Hillary busy? That would be so fascinating to have Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton on the ticket. But that's just me and my conjecture. On a very, okay. So I just learned that I cannot minimize this. So I wanted to just say a tremendous thank you to Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee passed away Friday, and this dear lady represents my family's district, the 18th congressional district of the city of Houston. Uh, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, what a powerful legacy this dear lady has left us to absorb, process, and use as an example. For those who may not know, Representative Jackson Lee was a tireless servant of her constituents. Of course, many of which are my family members. Many of my family members worked for her campaigns over the many years, for decades. Sheila Jackson Lee showed us all, as I said yesterday, she showed us all how to show up. Okay. So I really believe that it is up to us now to honor her powerful legacy by standing up for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for our communities, which actually brings me back to what this platform is about. Congresswoman Lee was wrapping up her 10th term as Houston's, I believe, senior congressional representative. And wow, what a tremendous loss, and just a great example of a public servant. Her accolades are many, and her legacy is legendary. Her memory will always be blessed, and she will always be remembered. Thank you, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. And I'm fighting back tears. So just bear with me. But that actually brings me to what I wanted to share with all of you. Wow, I didn't expect to be kind of overcome like this. I apologize, and then I don't apologize. So it's just kind of, as I used to say on my other podcast, it's very real raw right now here. So what I wanted to get into with you guys, and again, I can't thank you enough for connecting and engaging, is that women of all ages. Now, I like to refer to the menopausal mighty, but you don't have to be menopausal to, in fact, have issues of personal development stagnation, emotional stagnation, and as I titled this Zoom tonight, Life Sucks, Stuck. And how can we as women, especially us who are a bit seasoned and have, experienced quite a bit, how can we help those coming up? How can we help those coming up to not have to go through so much crap that we went through? And I know you guys feel this. And I just wanted to go through some of the emotional stuff. And if you relate to it, you let me know, or type in the chat if you're more comfortable there. How many of you have been stagnated or stuck? I know me, like self-doubt, like that was, I was just like in my younger years, self-doubt was governing my mindset. So there you go. That's why I listed that one up front. Self-doubt, fear, failure, guilt, shame, body image issues. I always thought I was too skinny growing up. I didn't think I was attractive like the other gals. People pleasing, uh, judgment, and not knowing how to handle being judged. Not having support or feeling as though you don't have support. Incurring trauma, various nuances of abuse. Some abuse is very in your face, and some abuse is very, very subtle, very vaporized. Of course, there's sexism, there's racism, there's fear of success, there's financial insecurities, and the many dominoing avenues that being financially inept incurs. And all of that leading to an inferior sense of identity, which is a crisis in its own right. Of course, we have gender bias, race discrimination. We can get into the many environmental components to being stuck. But how do we bring voice and face and experience and life to this? How do we talk about this in a respectful way, but yet in a very real way, in a way that expresses ownership, but yet doesn't indict those who really, in my case, just didn't know any better and still don't. That was an editorial. That was an India. Were you petty right there? Anyway, I like to have fun, so I have a very edgy sense of humor. So, oops. I love a good oops too. By the way, I'm not afraid of it. But yeah, like when even writing about some of this stuff. My first book was entitled "Don't Beat Yourself Up. You're Already Beat Up." And it really goes into just that, like how we absorb the BS from those around us in our environment, and they were beat up, so they tend to beat those up in their immediate environment, and then we grow up, and then we're being beat up from, oh, let's see, environmental degradation, political and social instability, limited access to education, lack of support networks. Of course, there's legal inequities, violence and safety concerns, health disparities, environmental injustices, child care lack of support, limited education access, lack of representation, unequal pay, race discrimination, gender discrimination. Shall I go on? So we incur a lot. And I think so much of it is vaporized. And I think that's why we tend to see so much hatred on each other. I think it's a learned behavior. And to me, when I see that energy, that's a person that hates themselves, and they're only doing what they know to do, which is to express the energy that they have endured and incurred. And peeling the layers of that onion back is deep, and not everybody will get it. So you end up having to say au revoir to some who you might still love, but simply will not allow yourself to continue to be their pincushion. How many of you have been a pincushion? And you didn't just like grow up. You just kind of begin to peel the layers back of other people's BS, and you begin to categorize and subcategorize what is mine and what ain't. And this is really powerful work. And that is what You Are Exquisite works to do. Because I believe you are exquisite underneath all of that environmental judgment and societal degradation, and especially, come on now, the darker you are, the more this means to you. I didn't make the world. I'm just saying how it is. So we know we've got that legacy of historic domestic torture, AKA slavery, and we know we have absorbed just hundreds of years of trauma. Like we know that, like we're carrying that just like the day we're born. Hey, how you doing? I'm carrying, all y'all's old BS. Where's my bottle? So we know that is kind of baked in from jump. Then on top of that, you're born into whatever you're born into with and I use this term respectfully, with anorexic infrastructure, uh, which is deliberate because those in power fear your brilliance. So it didn't just happen to be that way. It's structured exactly as it's designed to be. And so, how do you come up through the cracks and stand exquisite as you know you are? And by the time you get here, uh, I'm 61. So by the time you get here, it's like, damn, I wish I would have known this when I was 17. And that's why this platform is here. So that chick that's 17 that has endured being called a bitch and a hoe, and she thinks that's music, she doesn't know. The baby carrying the gun, he don't know. He don't know, baby. He don't know he's exquisite. He believes the graffiti. He believes the cat next to him who's carrying the gun, whose family has anorexic infrastructure, who's carrying the hundreds of years of domestic terror, genetic carryover trauma. So uh, we're in a weird space where those of us who are seasoned, we've lived enough to know the distinction. But those who are young kind of are in the I know it all phase and might not want to hear shit. And that's a weird dichotomy to navigate. So I said all that to say that that's what this platform works to address. And I'm just one lady, and I'm reaching out really to the planet because I believe that no matter where we are, I don't care if we're African, Asian, Australian, French, Latin America, it really doesn't matter. If you're female on planet Earth, mm, I don't know. I mean, it's better. Well, I don't even know if we can say that, right? With the rulings from the Supreme Court, right? Here, is it better? I mean, I mean, like what? Like what is going on? Where are we? Can we take a temperature check on where we are as women? I'm not saying we're a monolith. I know women, we are individuals. Women are going to have their own perspectives and their own ways of seeing the world and all of that. But at its root, where are we as a species? Because to me, I'm looking at it and I'm praying for these babies hard. So every person on planet Earth, we gave birth to, right? I haven't seen a man have a menstrual cycle, and I had endometriosis, honey. I would love to have a man have those cramps. Didn't happen. So we are power. So we gave birth to the people who determine our rights and who stripped them. And we gave birth to them. Does that make sense? I mean, now look, uh, I'm not on anything. I haven't, this is lemonade and it's got too much sugar in it. So I need to break that down. So I'm very clear minded. Now, something is not right. And I believe, love the guys, but they're fucked. I really believe it's going to come down to us. I think we're all we got. And I think that if we don't realize and connect with that exquisite within us, regardless of culture or location, uh, I don't know. I would like to see more women with more power because the cats that's they're not very impressive. Now, what say you? And how the hell do I turn this thing on? I don't know. Um, what? What? I don't know how to turn this damn thing on. I no, I have studied the tutorials. I have sent the support ticket. Uh, uh, I don't know. I need a producer or a technical person or something. I have no idea how. I'm etch a sketch, baby. I'm etch a sketch. I don't know how to turn this crap on. Um, but I want to hear from you. I know, right? I know. Yes, that was such a huge loss. Ooh, to read the loss of Representative Jackson Lee yesterday. Yeah, it's that I literally I just had to sit down and I cried like a baby. And when I think about her, and it just brings tears to my eyes. This lady was a tremendous advocate for everyday people. That doesn't happen all the time. So yes, just a huge loss, not only to the 18th Congressional District of Texas, but for the United States of America, and frankly, the world, because Sheila Jackson Lee was a great advocate for America globally. I think this lady, I pray this lady will be remembered with the respect and dignity that she has earned throughout her tenure of public service. So, yes, a huge loss, not only to the city of Houston, but to the country and the planet. And yet, she leaves such a brilliant example of standing up. As she said on one of the interviews, I believe it was with April Ryan, the great White House correspondent. You have to be, you have to shake the trees. You got to shake the trees. And I just thought that was so commemorative of her energy. She was the ultimate tree shaker. Like Representative Jackson Lee got it done. And she would stay on an initiative if it took 10 years, if it took 5 years. Literally, I believe 1 or 2 days before she passed, she got the initiative um, to invest in a housing community here in Houston that has been known as the projects. It's called the CUNY homes. It's right across the street from the high school that I went to eons ago. And she was strategic in getting tremendous investment. I want to say about $50 million worth of investment into that housing community. So literally, like right before she died, like I liked it on the Facebook and was just I was just like, oh my God, this is a tremendous initiative to get done. Because of course, the least of us without that political advocacy just get completely wiped over, overlooked, just ignored, dismissed, just neglected, and all of that. And she got that done literally 24, 36 hours before her passing. Just an unwavering commitment to public service. And I just cannot say enough or thank her spirit enough for the example that she leaves behind, which it's all connected and it all brings me right back to this. It's like I believe if the You Are Exquisite network of tremendous women, because I know now look, I know I am a mustard seed. This is so small and tiny. I get it. I get it. I take great pride in the mustard seed status. Mustard seed, hashtag mustard seed. I know. But I also know that we have a power that is so dynamic, it will shake the socks off of some. But we have to know it. And the deliberate, strategic, intentional mechanisms and messages to keep us, number one, separated from ourselves, and number two, separated from our sisters. So these are deliberate. Oh, she sold this. Oh, I don't like her. Oh, she did this. Oh, I don't want that. And all of that. That is so surface and that is so small. And really, it's so insignificant because we need each other so much. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. And those babies, they don't even know that they need Miss Tanya. They don't even know that they need Miss Zahira. They don't even know that they need us. But they will one day. But right now, they're bebopping. You know, they're in the I know it all phase. You know, we've all seen it. We know it. And that's what this is about. I wrote this down. The problem women of all ages live with, have been suppressed, and feel stuck from a litany of emotional and environmental blocks that keep us stuck, they keep us stagnant, and they keep us stifled. And I believe that has a net advantage to some. So your stagnation is someone else's profit, right? Oh, I've got to have the handbag. And honey, I have them all. So everything I'm talking about, I have lived it. And I mean everything. And a lot of it I haven't even spoke to yet. So I throw myself at the mercy of the court. Everything. I'm not sitting here in judgment. I put a 1 on my shirt. I am the avatar of stuckness. So I just kept reading and was so relentless to figure it out that now I'm on the other side of that stuck stuff. And now I can write about it and share it and hopefully, help these other babies out here. But everything, honey, the gold plated logos, honey, it's in my storage room, honey. Matter of fact, honey, I'll sell you that crap if you want, honey. It's in pristine shape, honey. Purse, bags, everything, honey. Everything is masterfully pristine and kept, honey. Okay. Had it all, baby. Matter of fact, now I buy the stock. So I don't buy the crap anymore. Now I buy the stock. Okay. So I just want you to know that I'm completely cathartic, and I'm not coming from a perch of judgment. I'm sitting with you. I'm laughing with you. I'm crying with you, not at you, because I am you. Okay. People get stuck. Look, we live in this era of AI and misinformation and you name it, it's out there. I'm a real simple chick. I'm like, crayons, and I just like to keep stuff real simple. I call it oatmeal raisins. I just like to keep it real simple. So that's where this platform is rooted from. See, somebody, and I was just speaking the truth, and God is my witness. May God strike me right now. Somebody said, India, you're a lying piece of shit, quote, close quote. And it really hurt me. And we were in a dialogue and a conversation, it really hurt me. And in the moment, I was like, oh, wow, you know what? Let me hang up this phone. I'm wasting my time. So I hung up the phone and I went to my journal. I still have it. I've got a whole, I've got so many journals. I have like a library of journals. But that's my therapy, and that's what ultimately brought me to this moment. But this is where this was all born from. So I'm just giving it to you 100. I'm on the phone with a loved one, talking I'm telling the God's honest truth. Frankly, my truth is actually documented, so I can actually back that shit up. So they say, India, you're a lying piece of shit, quote, close quote. I'm like, you know what? Let me get off this phone. I'm wasting my time. So I hang up the phone and I went to my journal. Like, wow, okay, like I have to process this because I'm kind of the, can you relate to being the facilitator? Like if somebody needs something, like like you're gonna jump in the car or go get the Walmart what is it, Walmart and get them some money, or you're the facilitator. If somebody needs something done and they can't get it done, can you relate to that? Like where you're the one that like gets shit done, like fill in the blank, like whatever the project is, and it's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, I think I can help you get that done. Let's go get that done. That's me. So when I was referred to as a lying piece of shit, quote, close quote, by said person who I had been facilitating, like, wow, okay. But see, I believe that no event is wasted, no matter how painful the event may be. So it took me a minute. It took me a while to process that. And I remember going to my mirror because I could hear the person in my head, like I heard it, like a bell. I still do. I can hear it just like it happened 5 minutes ago. And I looked in the mirror and I said, India, you're not a lying piece of shit. Number one, you're telling the truth. Number two, it's documented. Say, you are exquisite. So I converted the trash to treasure. And I remember telling them in one of the last exchanges that I had before I said, au revoir, this dumb shit is going to make me rich. So my message is, when people project their what they're going through onto you, have some kind of system and firewall to not absorb all that. And that's where You Are Exquisite is born from. I'm being 100% honest. That's where it's born from. Like that, what do they call it? The compost. How you enjoy the food, and then you put the food, all the old food, in a compost thing, and then that old food converts. It might appear as trash. It looks all gross, and it's like, oh, don't nobody want to be all of it. No, no, no. That's valuable. So I took that and converted it into an instrument and platform to help fertilize, like the compost would. Take the old food, let it sit, process it. See, it has to process. This is deep, yo. We have internalized so much negativity that is not ours. So what I want to do is help people compost that. I want to compost that crap and convert whatever they're going through. Because for me, it was that moment, right? It was like, what the fuck? It was like that, right? So, but I composted it. Now I could have let that moment, F me up. I could have got mad as a mofo and tore some shit up. Because that's real. So we deal with real stuff. I'm not up here trying to put pink on it. Well, I mean, I love pink. I'm not up here trying to put pink on everything and act like, that doesn't exist. What I'm speaking to is creating an alternative coping mechanism, because that mechanism where you just amp up and react, that's self-sabotage. It don't do me any good. It don't do them any good. They think they got me or whatever. It's ridiculous. So identifying what is crap, converting it in a mental compost, and then using that to fertilize what is within you that really has been untapped. That is You Are Exquisite. And that's where it was born from. 100 years ago, I used to be a flight attendant, and I really loved it. I had a few jobs in the aviation industry. I was a ticket agent, and I worked at the security checkpoint for a minute, and before TSA. This was 100 years ago, child. This was before TSA, and this was when it was still fun. And then I worked my way into being a flight attendant, and I had the privilege and honor to be a flight attendant before it got deregulated and they all got bought out and all that. And I was like, child, I can't keep doing this. So I just like moved on, but it was really fun. But I tend to use aviation analogies, and I just wanted you to know like where the history of that comes from. When you're on board that aircraft, that runway has to be clear. The aircraft sits at the jetway and it's in blocks. At least it was then, honey. I ain't no telling what they're doing now. I don't know. But it's set at the jetway and they had it blocked. And the provisions were, you pulled off the old and they put the new provisions on. And if you got a mechanical or whatever needs to be done, the crew is doing it up, under, on top, on the side, wherever it needs to be done, right? But that aircraft cannot move if that runway is not clear. Ain't nobody going nowhere if it's cluttered. I don't care if it's the president. I don't care who it is. You need that aircraft. And I had the privilege of seeing Air Force One come into Ellington. You need that SOB clear, honey, and pristine. And that's how we need our mindset too. See, we cannot fly if we are cluttered up here. We can't do it. So the runway has to be clear for takeoff. And the tower will talk to the cockpit and they get to go. And it's on, baby. And we've got to be strapped up in the jump seat. And it's on, baby. And by the way, always be patient with aviation personnel, wherever they may be, ticket agent, baggage, the cats that's checking your bags. Like, be patient with those cats. Be good to them. Be good to them. They can help you. Be good to them. And God bless everybody that's up there. So clearing the runway of emotional blocks so that you can fly and pursue the generational wealth and pursue I want this empire and I want to do that and I want to do this and I want to do that. YAE is about clearing the clutter so you can go on and do all of that. Because if you pursue it before you do your work, I mean, at the first challenge, you might be deterred because of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, perfectionism, fear of failure, guilt, shame, people-pleasing, judgment, not having a work-life balance, no support, internal trauma, fear of success. See, it all comes back to that. And then if you're dealing with that, then you're going to come over here into the environmentally inferior area and category of being susceptible to gender bias and race discrimination and unequal pay and lack of representation and limited education access. And then you have excessive child care costs and the lack of child care support, healthcare disparities. You're more susceptible to violence and safety inequities, legal inequities, lack of support networks, limited access to technology as they close libraries and burn books. Environmental degradation. And of course, political and social instability, which some are orchestrating. So this is really all intertwined and connected. I don't think it's a way to really separate it. I really think the only way to deal with this is to deal with this. And then that way, see, when you know you are exquisite, I believe you make better choices. I believe you choose better. I believe when you know you are exquisite, do you lay down without scrubbing down the cat first? I don't think so. I think you make better choices when you know you are exquisite. I mean, and I'm not talking surface. Please get this. This is so deep. I'm talking to the cells of your bone marrow. I'm not talking lipstick. I'm talking nappy head. That's why I go on there on that looking all kind of way. Because I know I'm exquisite. If my hair is jacked and I'm sweating and snotting and gasping for air because that track and whoop my behind again like it did this morning, it don't matter. I know I'm exquisite. And I love the wigs and the weaves and the braids and all that. But if I don't have that, I'm good. I know I'm exquisite. If I don't have the latest logo and purse and the baddest car and whatever the fill in the blank is, oh well, I know I'm exquisite. And honey, I rode that bus. I know what that's like. On it at 3:45 in the morning, honey, to get to that airport, to be at that job on the 5 a.m. shift. I wrote about it. Mr. Rick Johnson said, India, can you be here at 5 o'clock in the morning? He didn't know I was catching the bus. I said, yes, sir. I was there at 4:45 a.m. That's a relentless, and I was so young. I was like 20 years old. Like I was a babe. But I had my baby. So I was a young mom. And I had to make shit happen fast. And what was it that just kept me going? I could have put the jack up my nose and and did all that, right? I mean, anybody can do that. It doesn't really require much skill. But saying no, that's where knowing you exquisite comes in. Now, of course, at that time, I didn't have all of this, figured out or nothing. I was just putting one foot in front of the other and just doing what I knew I had to do. But as you evolve and as you grow and as you get older and as you fall and as you get back up and you fall again and you get back up and you're trying to figure out how to pay this bill and you're trying to figure out how to get the rent and I got the car note and I need the money orders and oh Lord, how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that? You just kind of build this warrior goddess thing, but you're carrying so much baggage on your little shoulders. And I want to help women like me when I was young, very young, and really didn't have the network of support. So I had to create it. And a lot of times when you don't have a network of support, that in itself is shame. And so you want to keep that private. You don't really want anybody to know because it's embarrassing. It's you're supposed to have that network of support, that uncle this or auntie that, or but what happens when you don't have uncle or auntie? What do you do? Yeah, that. It's great to put out there when everything is great, but having a safe network or platform where you can communicate when shit ain't great. We can turn on the TV and see whatever, and it's all, it's TV. You want TV to look, inviting and colors and it's friggin' TV. But what happens when life isn't like TV? Because life ain't like TV. And I've taken TV production. I've often said on my other podcasts that I really think media production should be mandatory curriculum so that people can learn what is fake and what is real, especially in this era of AI, because you're constantly being manipulated by marketing and advertising and imagery. And chances are the cats that are making the decisions are old, white, and male and don't have your advocacy at heart. So they want you to open your wallet and sell whatever the hell it is on TV that they're advertising. I'm not hating on it. I'm just telling you that's the game. So and frankly, now it's not just TV. It's what I mean. It's everywhere. It's billboard. It's everywhere. So we're being constantly bombarded with imagery and advertising and marketing manipulations to tell us who we are. What I'm saying is, you better know who you are. If all this shit go dark, you better know who you are and not look to some network or some athlete or some musician or some singer or anybody that you see tell you who you are. And you better know that you are exquisite. And you better be able to pull back those layers of that onion. You better be able to unravel that crap. You better be able to take that crap, convert it into compost, and turn it into cash for yourself in a healthy, humane, and frankly, harmonious, fashion. Figure it out. Figure it out. And that's what this platform is here to just give you a big hug, baby, and say, you got this. And it's a mess. I know mine was, is, I just own it. It's just a goddamn mess. Uh, 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 I said in the net segment, some things are just too fucked to fix. And that's when you just, au revoir, I love you, I need some distance because we're in a different headspace, and I'm not going to let you continue to use me as your pin cushion. So decluttering that, this is deep, yo. Okay. And I'm in the process of getting the journals, getting the workbooks, okay, to help us. I'll show you right now. I've just got like white, like white paper, and I just write it out. But we are going to walk through this together. This is my life's work. So I'm like, you're stuck with me. So this is my life's work. So I am a mess. Okay. And so I have to constantly every day. That's why I get out there and sweat, because that's, like I said today, like my church of sweat. It's so spiritual to get these toxins out. It's like like for me, it's 61 years. It's like it's like 60 years of this bullshit. And so it's like you've got to work through this, because I am determined to live my life in a light as a feather manner, and not. I remember I had an old lady call my show years ago. Bless her sweet soul, and her son listened to the I Declare show, and he called and he said, India, he said, my mom loves your show. And so she gets on the phone, and then she says, baby, she says, I'm towards the end of my life now, but she said, baby, let me tell y'all something. You should be light as a feather, honey, when you go. You want to be light as a feather when you go, honey. You want to be light. She says, baby, you go get your reward, honey. Don't be afraid of that, baby. Go get your reward. But you be light as a feather. And she kept saying that. And she said, baby, she said, I love what you're doing. You keep it up, honey. You keep it up, honey. My son listens, but I'm sitting here in the chair and I'm loving it, honey. And so I never forgot her. I never forgot her, because she was instructing me and that audience at the time. And I'm passing it on to you. So we need to be light as a feather. So that means that we have to clear the runway, because it's got a lot of bullshit in it. And we cannot fly the plane and pursue the visions, dreams, and goals with all this clutter. You might try, but then it's like you stop, like you start something and you stop, you start something and you stop, you start, oh child, I really love this, girl, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna, and then the first challenge that comes around, you're out. Or you get an opportunity. Oh, I'd love to meet you. Oh, why don't you stop by here? And you self-sabotage, you talk yourself out of it. Oh, I'm not good enough. I don't know. I don't have anything to wear. They're not gonna like me. They're not gonna like what I have to say. Why would they want to talk to me? That, that little, that, that, it just drives me back, because I've lived that. Not believing in myself, not like knowing I'm, I'm literate, I can read and all that kinds of, but it's the emotional. It's like, like you can take the test, make the A, B minus, whatever, like I can figure the algebra out, but the emotional shit, that's what's plaguing our babies with the games, the guns, with the early sex, like myself, pregnant at 19, baby at 20. It's not that I wasn't intelligent, but emotionally ignorant, emotionally violated, emotionally, just you tag whatever adjective one wants to. I use the word anorexic very respectfully because I know that's a real issue and people really deal with that shit. But like emotionally anorexic. And so like that's what it is. And working through that and owning it. And you know, kind of the misfit of it all. you know, the mutt, the mutt in the pound, like my precious Miss Lola. I had Miss Lola for 16 and a half years, and Miss Lola passed and passed in my arms. And yeah, we got Miss Lola from the pound. And every puppy that I'll ever have will come from the pound because it's symbolic of me. And Miss Lola was brilliant. So never allow the meager beginnings to stagnate you. Don't allow someone else's interpretation or misinterpretation of who they are. They're all jacked. And they're zeroing in on you. They see something in you that scares the bejesus out of them. So they want to really attack you in any way. And it might be subliminal. They might not even know that that's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing. So it's up to you to know that you are exquisite, because knowing that you are exquisite is like that firewall. Like, well, honey, they're only going to get so much of your time. And I understand that there are environmental constraints. Sometimes you're a kid, sometimes you're a kid and it's like you can't go. You know what I mean? Like, like, hey, like it's like like they're running the show. I know it's act up, but it's all like that. So it's like, like they're just like the galaxy in the sky. There are millions of situations here, that are ongoing. But you can know it up here. And you don't have to say one word. You can know it right here. And you can read and you can study and you can constantly work on yourself. Whatever you have to do to elevate your existence, as I said on the book, and I apologize for not having the book here. Educate your emotions, elevate your existence. And this I know because I lived it. So You Are Exquisite is here to hold your hand in this myriad of crap that we are navigating. And it's honey, it's not waist deep, honey. It's like shoulder deep, okay? I mean, this is wild. This is a wild time to be alive. It's so much coming at us. Personally, professionally, environmentally, politically, internationally, spiritually. I mean, you've got to have some cojones to handle this. You got the technology coming at you. So the through line is to know that in spite of all that noise and all those different ecosystems that are, churning away, is that the through line is right here. Baby, I know I am exquisite. And that's why, like, somebody messaged me and they were like, India, like, what do you say? Like, you don't care about what politics is. And I did a video and I was saying, look, I'm not saying I don't care about politics. Obviously, I do. I'm like a civics nerd, actually. But what I mean was that in spite of all the noise of our lives, like to have that quiet space, like where internally who you are, and you might not have it all figured out. Hell, I don't have it figured out either. I'm learning right with you as we go. I'm just to a level where I can at least write about it and be able to talk about it and convey it to help. Because some of this is in the back of our minds, and then some of it is at the top of mind. But some of this is kind of vaporized. Like it's like environmental conditioning. Like you just kind of grow up thinking that you're lesser than, especially if you're Black. It's just a baked in. You know, you're just automatically supposed to think that you're lesser than. I remember when I was in the fourth grade, and this was so wild because it was at the beginning of integration, and we got up super early in the morning to be well, I caught the city bus to go to this school, but it was like all the way across town. And then the teacher, the main teacher there, she separated the kids. She separated us. The Black kids were on the right side of the classroom, and the white kids were on the left side of the classroom. And I remember her feet were real swollen. She wore the same shoes, different colors every day. I won't say her name because I want to curse her spirit. But she knows who she is, and yeah, and so and her feet were swollen. I remember she had the patent leather. That's why to this day I don't wear patent leather. She had the patent leather shoes with that like a Mary Jane, like with that strap over it, and her feet were like hoofs. And it's like it was all swollen and like and the cheap strap she had it on real tight, and the skin and the feet were just like you couldn't even see like the strap like over the Mary Jane. And this bitch, I'm sorry, this lady had the Black people sit on the right side of the classroom, and the white people sit on the left side of the classroom, and she would literally she would say you know come on up to the board, and she would humiliate the children, the Black children, and like she would like keep us at the board and you know and I'll never forget she referred to me as Jezebel. She would say, Jezebel, come to the board, Jezebel. And so I remember coming home, and I had my little plaid lunchbox, which I still do to this day. And I put my plaid lunchbox on the table. I always wanted a Barbie one, but my mama bought a plaid one. Now, back then, I wish she had bought me a Barbie one, but now I'm glad she bought me the plaid one. Because the little Barbie one had a little white Barbie on there. And so she didn't want to buy the little white Barbie lunchbox. So she bought me a plaid one. And so and I still got my plaid lunchbox, baby. I sure do. Uh, and and so I asked my mom. I said, "Mom, what is a Jezebel?" And my mom had a big old platinum afro, just like Miss Tanya, Miss Tanya's platinum beautiful hair. My mama had a big old. My mama's a fair skinned lady. She had a big old platinum afro, and when she shook her head, her afro shook. And she had her wood earrings, honey. She had her African red, green, and black wood earrings, honey. Baby, she didn't get her ears pierced, honey. She don't have her ears pierced. Baby, she wore her clip-ons, honey. Baby, her African earrings, honey, and her dashiki, honey. And she said, "Ooh, what? You said what?" And honey, I didn't ride the school bus the next day. I got in my mama's big old, looked like it was a 2 block long Chevrolet station wagon, child. And honey, that was the last day I was at that school. So we are conditioned to think that we are inferior. And if it's not like her separating the students, it's some other more, maybe some other more nuance, not as obvious. And I've had some great teachers. So that was just one experience, but the majority of my instructors were, God bless them, and I love them. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. and my mama. So we're carrying all and I mean, like you see, like I was in the fourth grade. I'm 61 years old. You see how that shit is still right there in my head. I mean, I could literally produce a scene and do that on stage in a play, like in granular detail with her swollen feet and everything. And the cheap dress and the skinny belt, with the big belly. It's like, why you wearing a belt, bitch? It's like real. I mean, it's like really, like why you wearing a belt? Like you really don't need the belt. It just accentuates that you're kind of, you don't really need a belt. But like it, like in the fourth grade, I didn't really notice any of that. But like you see how your mind holds on to it, like in detail. Sean, my mama came up to that school, baby. I sat in that hallway on that. They had a long wood cold bench. Y'all know those hallways. Y'all know the long wood hall bench in the hallway right outside the principal's office. And they closed the door, and I couldn't. I mean, I could hear voices, but I couldn't hear what mom was saying. But she was giving them some serious, real raw right now. So advocacy, somebody standing up for you, somebody standing with you, somebody willing to hold your hand in that moment when you just really don't know. Like you don't really you need that leader. You don't even know you need them. I just came home and said, Mama, what does Jezebel mean? She said, where you learn that word, babe? I said, Miss fill in the blank called me a Jezebel. And then she gave me an age appropriate. She just, she said, well, it was a lady that wears red nail polish. That was like, that's the exact quote. She said, that's a lady that wears red nail polish, baby. That lady was calling me a hoe. I was in the fourth grade. That's what that lady was calling us Black children. So can't nobody tell me about emotional degradation, emotional stagnation, emotional suppression. You can be very intelligent, and we are brilliant. We're some of the most brilliant cats. They still haven't figured out the pyramids. That's what the whole any music. I don't give a damn what kind it is. Who's at the root of it? We are the culture. We know about the history of exploitation of these brilliant artists. Don't even get me started. How do so many brilliant talents come up dead so prematurely? There's an emotional through line here. And we have to know that we are exquisite so we can know what to say no to. I've often said that how you get your money is more important than the money itself. Now, I come from a family of entertainers. My father was quite prominent in the jazz world and is absolutely actually in the encyclopedia of jazz. How you get your money is more important than the money itself. We must know that we are exquisite so we can know what to say no to. That's who I am. That's what this brand is built from, born from, and built on. And I'm asking you, the audience, to just join me and just be willing to be raw. Because that's really the only way. It's like you got to do the composting part. It's like you can't just, ignore that part. And we can't just keep absorbing the crap from other people. We just have too much to do. We have too much to offer. And the generations coming up, they don't even know how much they need the season system. And now with the president passing the baton to Miss Kamala Harris, I mean, I'm just like, whoa, this is so deep. This is this is so huge for women and Black women and women of color and women all around the world. This is a major moment. We cannot miss this moment. We cannot miss this moment. We will reflect back 10, 20 years from now, and like, wow, man, that was deep. And I want to be able to say that, like, I stood up and made my offering of bringing people together and bringing harmony, some harmony to this sea of madness, because they're going to be coming at her, and we are symbolic of her. So that means they don't, well, I mean, hell, they always coming at us. But I mean, now it's like, whoa, this is huge. I don't even know if the country really even knows how big this is. This is big. And it's super noble of the president to, even though when the man debated her, he was standing right next to her and Mr. Castro, and he said, I'm going to be a one-time president, one-term president. I'm going to be a transitional figure, and I'm going to be the bridge for the next generation. So the man said it himself. Mr. Biden said it himself. And then when he had a crappy thing at the debate, which I didn't really think was a big deal. The dude's an old dude. He'd been traveling all around the world to cool off the Middle East, and you got Russia and Ukraine, and I mean you got China over there wanting to pop Taiwan. I mean, like, you got a lot of shit going on. So if the man stutters or yawns or something, I'm like, who gives a shit? I didn't really care. I mean, I'm like, hey, the other dude's just lying out of his ass anyway. So I mean, like, it's really, I don't even know why he even offered a debate to the dude. Dude's obviously got some judicial issues that he's got to continue to confront. So even though the Supreme Court gave him the immunity bullshit, I mean, he still got some shit that he got to do. So I'm like, why are you, Mr. Biden, even standing on the same stage with this cat? But either way, whatever, he chose to do it. So I'm like, oh, well, so what? Like, so he stuttered. Who gives a shit? I don't care. I mean, like, so? But apparently the guy has a bad night at the debate, man. The Democrats, I mean, their knees start knocking and they start sweating and their underarm pits start tingling and everything else. And they just threw the poor guy overboard before the dude even left the building. I mean, he didn't even get off the damn debate stage before both panels on the damn cable news were saying, "Oh man, homeboy got to go." So I mean, from that night to this moment, boom! Now we're here. He's out. She's out. And hey, we got, it's like, as a woman, like, what you gonna do? I mean, like, what do you do? I mean, you either embrace this Project 2025 shit, which is just like slitting your wrist if you're a Black person, or I mean, you embrace democracy and women's rights and environmental justice and infrastructure reform. And goddamn, can we have a book around here somewhere? I can't believe you're closing libraries, you're burning books. I mean, what the hell is going on? It's like I just cannot believe this, and like we just cannot sit, side saddle silent. It's just too much on the line. I mean, but I don't even get what the big debate is. Uh, uh, I mean, they've already imperialized the executive branch. So now you got the legislative branch and the judicial branch trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do. There's supposed to be three co-equal branches of government. The Supreme Court just said, "Screw that. We're going to make the executive branch an imperial," and they did. And the other two branches are saying, "Well, what the hell do we do now?" So I mean, it's just a friggin' mess, and somebody's got to have some kind of wherewithal amongst them to kind of like be able to at least separate the noise. You can't turn it off, but at least be able to quiet it and come on inside here and know from you in spirit above, Heavenly Father, whatever you want to refer to the big energy as, like you and the big energy, like that's your source, right? Not a rapper. Okay, like you and the big energy. Okay, like that's the like that's the line. Okay, like not horizontal. It's not hard. It's too many people at the table. You cannot allow the people at the table to tell you who you are. You have to know who you are before you even get to the table. And frankly, when you know who you are, you can buy and build your own goddamn table. And then you determine who's going to be sitting at that bench. So that's kind of how I like to roll. That's what India is. I'm blunt. I'm straight up. Look, like that's who I am. And the world made me this way. I mean, the bitch said us. I mean, the black kids on one side. I mean, hey, it's like, what do you expect? I mean, like you grow up with that kind of dynamism, and you're like, oh, okay, then that's how it's gonna be. Boom, cool. I got you. So I don't try to play cute. I don't. I'm a nice lady, but I don't take no shit. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a spirit filled lady. Like I'm a nice lady, but I don't play. Like you know what I mean? And it's like I've been called every name in the book, so none of that. That's just like okay, like that's all you got. I mean, really? I mean, I'm a writer, honey. Okay, so honey, whatever you can come up with, honey, I can just, so like if that's all you got, like, oh, like that's so tight. It's like I don't even have time for that. Like I'm really about getting shit done. And I really want to uh uh help declutter the emotional uh mess up here for so many of our people. I saw a beautiful young sister and I reposted it on my Facebook, and I cannot think of this beautiful young woman's name. And she was just saying how broken she was, and that she was just so tired of being betrayed and lied to. The baby was just, but she was a grown woman. She was a young woman, and she was speaking to how broken she was. It just, it just makes my hair stand up because that baby has listened and trusted somebody, and she put her faith in somebody, and they broke it. Now, what you are exquisite, that's why I say it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset. Because once you tap into that energy, you can't unlearn it. I'm not gonna go from knowing I'm exquisite to, berating myself. That's not gonna happen. That's dandruff. So how can we reach these young people so that baby does not have to exist in that world of being so internally just in a state of turmoil? I know we can do better than this. I believe it to my bones. It's my life work. I'm not quitting. And I know, like like my coaches have said, well, you need to go micro niche, and I'm like, okay, like my menopause mighty, but you know what? This is bigger than that. This is bigger than that. This is the babies. This is the preteens. This is the teens. This is the young adults. I just believe this might not be a micro niche platform. I'm gonna just say this. If you can operate a computer and boot up, You Are Exquisite is here for you, and I will watch my language so that I do not, curse in front of the base. Uh, the You Are Exquisite is here for you. The problem women of all ages live with, are suppressed by, and feel stuck from a litany of emotional and environmental blocks that keep us stuck, stagnant, and stifled. And this is what You Are Exquisite is here to address and help assist you to navigate, and me too, honey, to navigate, work through, unravel, release, realign, recalibrate, and re-emerge as the exquisite woman that has always lived within you, but is so shellacked with emotional and environmental crap. We're going to convert that crap. We're going to compost it, and we're going to fertilize that mustard seed of exquisite that really hasn't been tapped in. It's like I always like knew, but I was so emotionally uh 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 just compromised. The dad left when I was 3. You miss the dad, and the dad is prominent. And you're like, wait a minute. I mean, that's my dad. Like, why the hell am I not at my dad's house? Like, it's like it was a lot of like weird shit. Like I write about it in the book. Like, like when like you're the, like the dad doesn't, the dad's gone. Dad ain't there, but yet dad is living cool. Dad is, dad's prominent. Dad swung with the big dogs, but I didn't swing with him. And so it was a whole lot of that. But what Boo Boo was a writer. And I got there. Thanks, Dad. So, worked out okay on the back end. He's gone. Hopefully, when I convert and go to glory, hopefully I'll be able to sit down and, we'll work through our bullshit. But, right now he's gone. So I'm here. I'm left with it. But what he gave me was that DNA to write and to express. And I got that. And that's what I'm going to do. So thank you, Dad. We're going to rock on with it. But I'm going to tell the people what the hell the truth is. And so that's what the goddamn truth is. And that's it. So that's where it comes from. I like to say I'm blunt and upfront, but I'm a nice person though. But I don't, because I've been through so much shit. I don't have a tolerance for it. I just don't. I can smell that baby game, like lunar miles away. I don't do baby game. I cannot stand baby game. I don't, scams and all that. I don't have no time for that. I like to keep it real simple. And I like to get, that's why I love me Sheila Jackson. Like I like to get stuff done. You get an initiative and you hold on to that son of a gun like a hound dog on a meat wagon until you work it through and get the results that you want. That's why I respect her. Homie was getting it done, baby, until her last breath. That's my kind of broad. So in honor of her, and in honor of her generation, because she's standing on the shoulders of the Black folks that stood up before her, that gave her the inspiration to step out and step up and do what she did. And we're standing on her shoulder. And the question is, what are we going to do? Are we going to stand idly by and just watch this madness? I can't do that. I just cannot do that. I just can't do that. So that's where this comes from. This is not, I'm not, trying to fake, front, scam, scheme. I don't have time for none of that. There's plenty of that out there, and this ain't it. Honey, this is organic as it gets. You hear me? Girl, this is organic, honey. This is like, girl, but I also think as mustard seed as it is, I think it's global. And so because I think it's just so jacked that I mean like so that's what we gonna do. We just gonna just keep pushing and keep doing the work. The workbooks are coming, the journals are coming. I want you to have a coffee cup where you can look at it and know you are exquisite. You can go to what is it? Shopyae.com. I've got some stuff up there, the t-shirts and some stuff, but this is going to get thicker and we're gonna grow this because we have to. Because they don't even know they need us. They don't even know, but they do. And so I want the You Are Exquisite to be there when they be like, oh shit, this ain't fun no more. Like you're not like when you be out there young and shit, and you be having a good time, and then something happens, and then that shit ain't fun no more. And you start looking for a bookstore or you start looking for something because you like, nah, I don't know, I can't keep doing this. That apex of a moment, that's what this platform is for. So this is like the nitty gritty. Like this is not silk and roses and this is the real shit. So we're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna get mad at nothing. We gonna we got to work through this shit. But we're gonna compost this crap. We're gonna compost. First of all, we gotta identify. So it's like, and that's individual to everybody. Like for me, it was, add left. And I mean, it was just a friggin' just one thing after another. And then, you grow up in a family and, not everybody has the same dad. Like you ever grew up in that? Like not everybody has the same dad. Like that's some different energy. Don't nobody talk about that shit. Don't nobody want to talk about that shit. Like when people under the same roof have different last names. Like it's kind of like you can kind of like keep a cap on it, keep a lid on it, like when they're kids. But when people grow up and they begin to identify and begin to connect with who they are, it's like, oh shit, wait a minute. There's some differences here. And there can be those differences when everybody does have the same day. So you can have the same lineage and have all kind of popcorn popping underneath the roof. So when you got different, situations going on, that can become that popcorn can become dangerous. So like I said on myself, I like to talk about the stuff that people don't talk about, like that kind of shit. But I really believe that that's kind of what the masses are dealing with. And so like that, like and it's just no cute way to do that. I mean, it's just kind of gritty. It's just kind of, you know, it's just the truth. It's my truth. It's mine, baby. And just like I told Boo Boo, they called me a lying piece of shit. This dumb chick gonna make me rich. Okay. Because we gonna convert this. We finna convert this. And we gonna help a lot of people along the way. That's what we gonna do. And then they're gonna create something. And then they're gonna lift. And then those that they help lift, they're gonna create something and they're gonna lift. And we're gonna lift from the gift. That's what we're gonna do. And my girl Tanya, that's a bad sister right there. That's a cold sister. And we haven't even talked about this. But I want whatever this is. And I don't know. I'm just putting my heart out here. But I want Miss Tanya to be a part of it. She got to be. She got to be. I don't even want to do it without her. She got to be. That's a bad sister. That's a cold sister. Because she stayed on my butt to get this done. And I've never really had, I've just been, I'm a big old loner. I never really had anybody be like, girl, you better get that done. No, we ain't gonna talk on the phone, just be yapping. No, we gonna talk on the phone and get our list, to-do list. What do we need to do? When do we need to have it done? That's Miss China. What do we need to do? When do we need to have it? No, you going out now, you talking now. Stay on it. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? And now I want to have this done, this done, this done. Baby, Miss Tanya be like, whoa, okay. Now you need put the link. Put the link in the group chat. Put the link. Well, I don't really want to bother the lady. I don't care. Put the link in the group chat. Put the link. Child, I love me some Miss Tanya. Baby, she be on it. You hear me? So, I don't even know. We haven't even talked about it. I'm like, child, I got to have Miss Tanya, child. Child, I got to have Miss Tanya, child. Cause child, so that's the mission. We didn't identify the problem. We didn't laid out the mission. Oh, the flower symbol of the YAE represents the beauty in all of us. Because when we look at a flower, we don't say, "Ooh, that flower's fat," or "Ooh, that flower's black," or "That flower white," "That flower's poor," "That flower's rich." We just enjoy the flower. The flower is exquisite. That's what the three-leaf flower represents. It's just loving the flower, loving who you are in your natural state. We don't say the flower needs lipstick, or the flower needs makeup, or the flower needs a wig, or the flower needs platform shoes. We just love the flower as the flower is. That's what the flower represents from You Are Exquisite. Okay, so I want to make that point. Okay, and I hope you will share your thoughts and your concerns and your issues with a contact at exquisitewomanglobal.com, and I'll try to make this. No, I can hear Miss Tanya in my head. Now you ain't gonna try. You finna do this. Now, I will make it easier to connect. Oh yeah, you can message on the. Is it the DM? What is it on the Instagram? Is that the DM? Message the YAE on the DM on the Instagram. Y'all quit laughing. I'm trying to learn how to do this. Um, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work, we're gonna share, and we're gonna do, and we're gonna lift, and we're gonna create smiles where there are frowns. I want to turn frowns around into smiles just by people knowing that they are exquisite. That's it. That's it. That's it. You don't have to buy the perfume, even though I got a whole bunch of that shit too, child. I got all this dumb shit. And I don't have any of it on. It's in the storage room. and I don't have any of it on. And I still know that I am exquisite, and you are exquisite, and we are exquisite, and we are a community. And yes, we are mustard seed. We are very small, but we ain't going nowhere. So we can't do nothing but grow, child. So we can't get no smaller. So we can't do nothing but grow. And so we'll be here on Sundays. Now I might do it on the YouTube, like we're kind of testing out platforms, because I was telling you, like I looked on the video how to do the YouTube live when you do the Zoom, and child, it's just all kind of discombobulated, honey. I don't know. So I guess we'll try the YouTube and see like what platform works, because for me it's like whatever's easiest. It's like that to me, like that's like whatever. It's like the Zoom, bless their hearts, honey. But child, they got all kind of, oh Lord. I mean, it's a lot, honey. And I put a, oh yes, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yes, yes, you're right. Yeah, Miss Constance she is a well of information and experience. Queen Constance Carter, honey. Yes, honey. Oh, thank you, Miss Zahira. Thank you, honey. Child, 'cause, honey, I need it, child. Child, I need it, child. But yeah, so it's like, here we go, honey. It's like we're doing this, and it's just as country as can be, but that's all right. I just believe, just be authentic and just be who you are, and then that way you don't have to front, and it just I just think that just makes it easy for everybody. No facades and none of that. Here I am, and it's a mess. And I converted my crap into the compost, and then I use that compost to fertilize my visions, my dreams, and my goals to accomplish, advance, and achieve. So, like we all got this crap, and it's just sitting here. Well, how can we convert that crap into a compost, and then now you got to clear the negative shit. You got to release that. It's like and we'll have meditations and affirmations, and I'll share with you everything that I have done. I will share with you, because it has brought me to this point of clarity, so I believe in it. Like I believe in it. That's I ain't trying to sell no bullshit. What I'm serving you and what I'm offering you is what has worked for me. Nothing more, nothing less. To literally go from like a calcified fear of uh uh really everything. Just have just emotionally compromised. And like my first book, Don't Beat Yourself Up, You're Already Beat Up, like I go into it extensively there. Yeah, and all the work, and it is work. I mean, this is not like a light switch deal. Like this is like you're making a commitment to yourself. Like it's not to me, it's to yourself. Like that's the commitment. Like that's why I didn't say I am exquisite. I said you are exquisite, because you're making a commitment to the person in the mirror. So you want that mirror. Don't ever look in a dirty mirror. If you're looking in a mirror, like take the time, like get you some honey, get some window cleaner. Sprayway is the best, and they're not paying me to say this, but child, get you some sprayway, and honey, and you clean your mirror, honey, as clean as you can get it. Never look in a dirty mirror. I don't want any obstruction of that. I want you to look in that mirror, and I want you to say you are exquisite every time you look in the mirror. If you see yourself, honey, you walking downtown, child, and you see your reflection, honey, in the glass, say, girl, you are exquisite. Okay? And keep it moving. Don't break your stride. It's a mindset, it's a lifestyle. And you wait and see. You'll see. You're your demeanor, your decisions, like it's weird. It's like it does have a ripple effect in how you feel about yourself and your decisions. And maybe I won't have. Oh, okay, I had a few donut holes, right? But like I wanted like four, but like I only had like two. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, like, wait a minute, I'm out here sweating. I don't need four donut holes. But so I can have two and just taste it and just like let myself feel the donut holes and then be like, okay, girl, you are exquisite. Put that down, boom, put it down. And my husband, like, he ate the rest, but which is fine. But it's like it's weird, like but like he can, run like 7 miles, so so like whatever. But like it does have an effect, an affect on your mind. Like it really is like a shift or a paradigm shift, but it takes time though. And it might feel weird at first, it might feel weird, like when you're like, why I'm saying this, whatever. But just over time and just keep with it. And I'll get the affirmations and I will do flashcards. It's like I got some stuff coming. So like we're mustard seeding this right now. But I think we're onto something. And I think it can help a lot of people. And that's it. I love you guys. How do I turn the sound on, Tanya? Do I do it? I don't know. Oh, girl. Wait a minute. What do
You
I
want
do?
everyone, you want
Oh,
people,
there you
all you
go.
have to,
Hey,
hey
you look
girl,
so pretty.
thank you. You are so exquisite.
Oh my gosh. So are you. You are
Thank you.
such a blessing.
So anyone who would want to talk or speak, all they have to do is unmute themselves.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, good. So that's one less thing I have to do. Because I'm like, where's the button? I don't know. But I'm in it to learn it. And yeah, talking to Constance, yeah, that'll help too. But yeah, I was trying to learn how to, integrate the Zoom and the YouTube. And I was like, child, please, let me just do what Miss Tanya said. Miss Tanya was like my producer today, honey. She said, child, you better get on there, honey. Because I was like, girl, should we switch it to YouTube? Like, you better get on there and do that Zoom and hush. And we did, and you were exactly right. And I'm very glad that we did. And so now I can figure out, just learn how to do this stuff.
Okay.
I'm so glad that you and Miss Zahiria are here today. You guys are such blessings to sit with me on this and just be a part of it. And I meant what I said. I really would love for you to be a part of this in some capacity, in some very entrenched capacity. I know you have a ton of stuff on your agenda. I know you have your own stuff. I know you got all kind of stuff going on. But please just make me a slice of the pie
I
somewhere.
never, I never had too much time without including you. So just take that away. Take that out your mind. Never.
Because yeah, I didn't even talk to Miss Tanya about this. I'm just like, Miss Tanya is just so exquisite, yo. You just have no idea. I've never had an accountability partner. We did the Net 7 collective with Miss Constance Carter, and y'all have to check out Miss Constance Carter. Okay. If you haven't already, you have to check out Miss Constance Carter and the Net 7 collective. So we did this Net 7 collective. And then Miss Constance Carter said, hey, like, I'm going to put you guys together with your accountability partner. And it was Miss Tanya. And I've never had an accountability partner. And even though like I went dormant like for a while, because like stuff was going on and I went dormant, but like I wrote about it and said, you go from dormant to driven. And it's like, okay, like let's go. And so like I went like dormant and we would check in on the text, but like we didn't have any of this going or anything. I was working on like the corporate part of it, and that kind of thing. And not really out here on mic and stuff like that. And she was just so patient with me and just so encouraging. And she's a brilliant sister, with so much to say, and she's got her own projects going on, and they are brilliant. And so we came together as accountability partners, and I love our meetings. Because I am long-winded, as you have found out. And Tanya's like, girl, stay focused. And so she keeps me focused, and she keeps me like on point. And I just love it. And I love you. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And you are beautiful. And you look so cute with that pink lipstick and that hair, girl, those brows. Are child, you just killing it, girl. So you killing it. Okay, go on, girl. Go on in. Shoot, I know that's right. The pink and the golden hue of the hair and the brows is just, it's just the symmetry is just, it's fantastic. It's exquisite. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm done. We did it, Tanya. We did it.
Yes, ma'am. We'll chat back tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. 1 p.m. Yes, ma'am. I got my calendar. It's on my calendar. So, okay, so this is recording. So, I guess I'll post it up on the YouTube, I guess. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll figure out how to do, I don't know, but I'll figure out how to.
Yep.
Okay. And I love you. And thank you, Miss Ahiria. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. And we did it. We launched it. We did it.
Have a blessed night.
Oh my gosh. You too. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Have a blessed night. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, baby. I love
Thank
to
you.
y'all. Thank you, baby.
Have a good night.
Okay. Good night, honey. Okay, good night, you guys. Check out at You Are Exquisite 365 and shopyae.com. And I look forward to, I'll post up whether or not we'll be here or on the YouTube. And I thank you guys for being here. And always know you are exquisite. Good night.